It looks like because of the little on Facebook. Why? Destination. Wait. I don't know why the broadcast was deleted on Facebook. I'm trying to see. Why is it? Try the schedule deleted. My broadcast was deleted from Facebook, and I think I'm not even late. I don't know why. What did I even say? Maybe what I typed was against the Facebook rules and regulations. I don't know, but it was deleted from Facebook. I don't know why. I'm trying to edit the time. I think I'm not. Maybe probably the words I used in that write up made this. Otherwise, you're welcome on Blackwood Fire Network. It's Africa Maria. I don't know. I don't know why it has been deleted from Facebook, by the way, but I guess because I'm not late, the time is right. Let me try and text Keith and Lucy. Uh, his Anyway, I don't know why my life has been deleted from Facebook. I guess because of the words I wrote, probably the against the standards, and so I might have broken a rule. That's why this live cannot be posted on Facebook. Actually, today we are talking about Africa with the rainbow mafias. Sorry, America with the rainbow mafias in Africa. I must have miswritten the word America. I guess I not put the A there. I set the studio as I was in a taxi driving back home from school, so I was in a bit of a hurry. You're welcome on Blackout Fire Network. It's me, Africa Maria, from Kampala, Uganda, and today is a good day. Except I don't know why Facebook has um, blocked my live. Yeah, like I said, could be because she was making that noise. Could let me first Yes, you're welcome once again on Black Hot Fire Network. I'm sorry, I was trying to, electrify something here. My live has been blocked from Facebook, so I was trying to find out why. First of all, the timing was good because I set it ahead. It was on schedule, but I guess the words I wrote in the description probably could be the reason as to why Facebook do not allow this live to go through. But welcome on Black Hot Fire Network. We shall still continue with our debates. Of course, we know a lot of things we do are against yeah. So today we're going to discuss about America with the Rainbow Mafias in Africa. Well, this is not a new thing now. Who's calling me? This is not a new thing. Who is this? Sorry. So we saw Camilla Harris travel down to Africa, where a lot of Africans were excited, probably thinking, okay, at last America got so bad. At last America is trying to pick interest in Africa. But but Camilla Harris came for her own, okay, for America's own, interest. Yes, I know. We all talked about America being scared of China and Russia, overtaking this, but we know, Russia and China is also a decoy. I'm sorry, people asking me why I'm not live on Facebook, so the messages are going to be barging in and out. Bojo munyambe bana inywe Bikira Maria Mawu. So I'm trying I'm trying to prevent those as well making some sound. I'm sorry. So Kamala Harris came to Africa, and basically he chose a few countries that he visited when he traveled to Africa for a mission, of course. We saw Ghana. He visited Ghana, and she put. Sorry, she's a woman actually. She put much concentration on Ghana, and also some concentration in Tanzania, but the biggest concentration was in Ghana. A lot of Black Americans concentrate like on Ghana a lot. So some of them feel like that they have a part of Ghana in them. And Ghana itself is very versatile, and it is huge. Okay, and so at that time, we saw Camila traveling to Ghana. All they said is they're going to try to, help pay the debt that, you know, um, Africa owns, but we know we don't own anything like a date actually. If we are supposed to be, paid, if we are supposed to get reparations, they should be the ones who are doing this, not the other way around. Okay. So there is no one coming down to Africa to help Africa pay a debt or something like that. But rather they came for their own personal gains and for their own plans. So coming down to Ghana, of course, she came to back up the rainbow, the rainbow mission, the rainbow mafias. We also saw where a homosexual, let me use the word rainbow man, who was in Ghana and took land from an African American brother who was down in Ghana. So this rainbow man had the potential to grab this guy's land because these people are so very much backed up. Now, we all know the rainbow mafias have also very much tried to make sure that Africa is being led by the rainbow society and the rainbow people. We've seen the example in, of course, Kampala, Uganda. In Africa, rainbow people do women as well. So, because we still live in a cultural and traditional society, people are trying so very much to hide in that, I have a woman, so nobody's gonna say I'm not married or I don't have kids, so I'm gay or something like that. So they hide under that umbrella. But Uganda is going to be one of the best example of how they were trying to, put rainbow presidents in power. Now they're trying to do this even in other countries. Of course, Kamala Harris traveled down and went to Ghana, but she was there to back up the rainbow mafias. Because in Ghana they are very more, so she was there to back them up, to modify the anti-rainbow laws. Because at that time, the president of Ghana actually was also against homosexuality. But now, as we speak, after Camilla's travel to Ghana, we are seeing they're trying to modify the laws, and they're trying, and the word that is going around is temper justice with mercy. You know, so we know the mission. She was here to, push the rainbow policies, and also to legalize homosexuality in Africa. Now, of course, Tanzania has been one of the traditional countries um in East Africa. I will say that there have been people who have been living their own beliefs and their own kind of life. I'm not like saying they've been practicing African spirituality, but some have. There have been people who have not been so much interfered with external pressure and influence. So until Magufuli died, of course, we are seeing America is very much picking interest in, Tanzania, and for whatever reason, they are picking interest in Tanzania. But we know Tanzania is also one of the biggest countries in East Africa, and this population is huge. And I can tell you, they feel like it is very easy to manipulate the Tanzanian people. First of all, um, it was very hard for them to, come in Tanzania and start to bring such kind of laws with those men who were in power, and they were up for anything that is against, up for anything good, bad. They were against a lot of things that were affecting African traditional society. Until, of course, we lost Magufuli, and then, for this kind of reasons. Now, coming to Tanzania, of course, we are seeing the biggest population in Tanzania is just like of youth, is just like Uganda's population, actually. Most of them, I want to be artists, I want to be a celebrity. The I want to be's are so much in, Tanzania. So, like, everyone wants to be a celebrity, everyone wants to be known out there. That's why you're seeing a lot of young Tanzanians coming out as artists. So these people sit down with a map, and they get to study, the situation and the environment in Africa. So they know if we hit here, definitely Africa is going to respond. And we know the rainbow mafias have been sponsoring a lot of things in Africa. They have been sponsoring technology. Actually, they have been sponsoring a lot, to the point that recently there is a video that circulated all over social media. Actually, they were talking about the Ugandan government and the rainbow mafias who come from Uganda and live in outside Uganda, of course, outside Africa. We're warning the president, like, actually trying to tell them, you feed on our money, the rainbow gives you a lot of money, so you should stop talking about, a lot. So these guys made a lot of videos, and to be surprised, the president of Uganda actually, the parliament sent a bill to him, but he refused to sign it. He rather sent a bill back and asked these people to revise this bill. Now you can see how deep the rainbow mafias, have dug into motherland. And we have seen also, we know that sooner or later there will be a rainbow president. There will be a rainbow president in Africa. And the moment we have such kind of people here, Africa is going to be doomed. It is not, they know the game. They understand the game black people play. Black people are people who love showbiz. Black people are people who love, living a good life. They love good life. So they know, they understand the matrix. They understand how black people view things. They understand what will attract black people to do a lot of things. And these people are against everything that is in for black, for the black, growth and black, legacy. So for us right now, the biggest issue that right to do what they are doing, or homosexuals have a right to practice their homosexuality. For those who believe that it is okay for someone to have imbalanced hormones, or to fall for a person of the same sex, there is something you're ignoring a lot. There is something, because there is one thing y'all should know: there is no Muzungu in Africa for Africa's interest. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you are going through, there is no Muzungu for Africa. There is no Muzungu who comes here for you. They come with that reason, but behind that reason, there is a greater reason for them. Now, a lot of Africans talking about our rights, and our rights that, and our rights that, and our rights this, and others also saying they have a right to do that, they have a right to do this. The moment you see a Muzungu pioneering, standing forward for a certain matter, just know they have a reason as to why. Just know there is a reason as to why they are doing this. Now, this is something that most of us actually do not. I don't know why my chair is doing this. This is something that most of us do not really, look at. Forget about the rights of the, rainbow people. Forget about, them having a right to fall in love with whoever they want, or having a right to their home, to their sexuality. But we all know these people are here for a purpose. And why did Camilla come down to Africa? Why did she travel personally to step down motherland? Because there is a mission. Now, the moment these people get a president, of course, this is their plan, because they're trying so very much to make sure that we get a rainbow president in Africa. The moment we get a rainbow president, that means the rainbow people are going to have the freedom to practice whatever act they want. Now, in our ignorance as Black people, excitedly, like we are adapting a new modern sexual style, I'll call it that actually, forgetting that the people we are in this with are people who are against our development. These are people who are against everything that is positive. These are people who are against our goodness. So after they make these presidents, then people will have the freedom to carry out. I don't know why my chair is doing this. People will have reasons, and they will have the freedom to carry out these homosexual acts. Now, being that we are in African tradition society, do y'all remember the HIV/AIDS and how it came about? This was a disease which was designed for the homosexuals. Though Christians keep saying that God was punishing the homosexuals and that HIV was designed for the homosexuals, homosexuality or the rainbow mission was planned even before now. That's why a lot of celebrities, more especially musicians, a lot of celebrities died of HIV, more especially those celebrities who traveled outside Africa. In Uganda, we had one, actually, he died after confessing that he was HIV positive. But most of these celebrities, they were carrying out homosexuality, because at that time, for you to be able to travel, at that time, I think most of them were traveling to Amsterdam and other countries at that time for music, concerts, and everything. And it's where some of them were carrying out their homosexuality act, because to be a homosexual at that time, it was a gate to celebrityhood. It was a gate to popularity. So a lot of people did that just to gain that influence, and that's why a lot of them died of AIDS. And when they came back to Africa, of course, they still did go and lay with the women, because at that time Africa was so very closed minded, and the people around, it was a very closed society that wasn't ready to embrace new styles or new system or new behaviors, of course. And that's why we saw a lot of people die. Most of the people who died of most of the people who died of HIV/AIDS at that time were celebrities, and these were celebrities who were indulging in homosexual activities. Now, this mission still stands. This mission still stands, and I also believe the moment Africa embraces homosexuality, right now we are fighting for the rights of the people. We are looking at these people are their rights, are being defiled. These people have a right to choose whoever they want to fall in love with. They have a right to choose whoever they want to get married to. They have a right, whatever it is. But we are forgetting the main point of why these people are pushing homosexuality. We always, of course, talk about depopulating Africa. We always talk about dysfunctioning families in Africa and everything. But after we gain these rainbow mafia presidents in Africa, of which I sense like we are going to, we shall definitely have them ruling Africa. And the moment we do that, Black people will have a right to do their homosexuality in broad daylight or in whichever way they find fit. But there is one thing that I fear for, is their plan of HIV/AIDS, which still stands till now, because it was mission impossible at that time. It was mission impossible at that time. I also believe they still want to continue with their mission. That's why we are going to see a lot of HIV/AIDS coming up, like the HIV, like we see COVID-19, COVID, 2021, whatever COVID they'll be bringing. So we shall have HIV coming in phases. And this is going to be attacking the Black men, and it's going to be attacking the desperate young African people who are going to be focusing on homosexuality at that time. And then what is going to be the end? That is going to be the end of Black people. That is going to be, it is going to affect our economy. It's going to affect our life socially, economically, and everything about it. We are going to have another phase of attack through embracing homosexuality. This is just obvious. There is no way a Mzungu is here for us. There is no Mzungu who has ever come to Africa for Africa's, reason. There is no one who has ever come here for Africans' purpose. So we see they come here for their own selfish, probably, gains that some of us actually fall prey to. A lot of young Africans are embracing homosexuality. I always said this not because, probably not because they want to, but because some of them are desperate for money. Some of them are desperate for, traveling abroad, green cards and whatever it is, to the point that some of them be, they're ready to come out, but and tell the world that they are homosexuals. And then we go ahead and look at what they are trying to, and thanking wine. You're here. You're welcome. You're welcome. I hope you're doing good, bro. So, you will see that a lot of people are embracing these acts, and the major thing they are forgetting is their security. The moment you see this Muzungu, I repeat, trying to concentrate on Africa's matter, know that they have a lot to benefit. Just know that they have a lot to benefit from the acts that they are trying to support. And second one, what do you think about the Americans and the rainbow mafias in Africa? People were very proud of the government of Uganda. Actually, like everyone was like, the president of Uganda, is against homosexuality. But recently, we saw that the members of parliament sent a bill which he refused to sign because he was being warned all over social media by the rainbow mafias, like, we are going to withdraw aid and everything like that. To the point that we've seen some pastors in Uganda still coming up and blaming the government as to why they are blocking these people from carrying out their responsibilities. Carrying out their desired feeling and their rights as homosexual. And pastors personally are telling the world that the money that supports their preaching and everything comes from the rainbow, mafia thing. So we are seeing a lot of this happening down here in Africa, and it's a very, very scary moment down in Africa because I'm seeing us going back into the infectious Africa that we used to have way back, where we used to have HIV, AIDS being spread because of these artists, and people keep on saying HIV, AIDS came from dogs. It did not come from dogs. It was designed for the homosexuals, and the homosexuals were supposed to transmit this HIV all over. A lot of people died at that time. So we are not sure this other HIV, how is it going to come? What and who is it going to affect? How is it going to affect people? First of all, we are seeing the HIV vaccination coming down to Africa, where some people are embracing it and others are not. So it is going to be a mess with these different infectious diseases, different transmitting diseases that are going to be brought down into Africa the moment we embrace homosexuality and agree to this homosexual. I will repeat this. There is no Muzungu who is here for us. There is no Muzungu who is here for any African. The moment you see them blowing the whistle, you know, sorry, I don't know what this is doing. The moment you see a Mzungu blowing a whistle for African matters, blowing a whistle for Africa's, matters and problems, just know they are benefiting from this. Just know they got a plan that they're using this route, to make sure their plans are being put into action. Now, Derek is right in the building. Derek, thank you for coming through. I hope you're doing good. So the moment you see this Muzungu blowing a whistle for Africans, because we have a lot, okay? We have a lot of issues that they should actually concentrate on if at all they're here for us, okay? We have a lot of issues that people should concentrate on, but they are turning a blind eye against these very issues that are affecting the Black people, by concentrating on those things that we feel like are against our tradition, are against our norms, are against our things. So these people have their plan to make Africa safe for the rainbow people. Okay, they start injecting rainbow Black men in Africa with different infection. We are going to have a mass genocide in Africa. We are going to have a mass genocide in Africa, which is going to be caused by the rainbow mafias. First of all, I'm saying this without shame. Africans love sex. I don't know, no matter how they are doing it. And these people know that for sure. And the moment they inject this in the mind of Africa, if you look at the selection of the countries Camilla visited and where the concentration was, if you look at the youths in that country, I think if the president of Uganda actually had not came out publicly to talk about his denial of homosexuality, Uganda would also be a target of Camilla. But because at that time, the president of Uganda was against it, he was trying to attack people that he's against it, but I guess that's why she did not. Now, if you look at the countries where he concentrated, these are countries which have got youths Okay, which I've got youths who are, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be known. If you look at Tanzania, the biggest population of the young people in Tanzania want to be artists. They want to be celebrities. Everyone is singing in their home, in the bars, in the toilet, in the shower. Everybody's singing. The same thing goes to Ghana. Ghana is the place where let me first read this comment. It's not our shame, Maria. It's their shame. There is a transgender in my office. You see that? Hi, Maria. Tune in for a beat out working. Yeah, thank you, Jim Jabba, for coming through. Thank you for tuning in, even if it's that big, but thank you so much. Um, Peace, Deacon, Derek, and David Jabba. All right. So this report, we are so much concentrating on the rights these rainbow people should have. We are forgetting the future. We are forgetting the impact it may cause to the African society and the Black people out there. You know, surprisingly, America decides to show us that, okay, they came in this guise of like, we're here to help you guys. We want to help you pay the date and everything. We don't owe nobody. We don't have a date. Actually, if there is anyone who needs a reparation, it's us. We are the ones who need our things brought back. We are the ones who are demanding a huge some amount of gold in your treasuries and everything. You know, but it's not the other way around. So you don't come around in Africa telling me you've come to pay my debt. You know what? I'm gonna pay everything. You are sorry. I'm gonna pay everything. That you owe us and all that. So we want to set you free economically. We are here for you. We are here to show you some love. And in the end of it all, what happens? You start bringing out homosexual schools, digging down. You are bringing homosexuality. You are building schools. You're funding schools that allow transgenders, homosexuals, and of course, trying to also create some fake churches that are going to preach this for whatever reason. And you start telling us you're doing this simply because you love Africa, and maybe you're trying to show us that you got our back. And Africans have been believing this. Sorry, David Brown. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. I'm doing good. Hi. So Africans, we are on a timing bomb. We are on a time bomb which is ticking like ticking, like ticking. The first mission politically, the first mission of putting a rainbow president, of course, was focusing on Uganda. Um, First of all, Uganda is one of has the biggest. You see, Uganda is a very small continent like this, but it has the biggest number of youths in Africa. Most people in Uganda are young people. They are youths who can be easily, intimidated, who can be easily played, played along, who can be easily, tempered with psychologically. So we saw how Bobby Wine came in actually, and this was going to be the first, rainbow president in Africa, if at all, if he had gone through. And I know they are going to keep on, the CIA and these other associations are going to keep on injecting money into Africa's politics to make sure that you get the rainbow president taking over Africa. Because this is the only way homosexuality will take lead. But if rainbow presidents do not take over, it's going to be so very hard. So these people are trying so very much to make that relationship with presidents, with the other organizations in Africa, to make sure that Africans embrace this. And I can tell you, the moment a I'm going to call it a vice because it is. The moment a vice steps down in Africa, mm, the entire world must receive it as well. There is where I saw a lot of artists. I think, more especially those in Nigeria, they usually used to say that if your song has not been, played in, Uganda's clubs and those outing places, you have not sung. Until Ugandans dance to your song, just know you have sung. That's why even on social media, a lot of people try so very much to do stuff about Uganda so that they can attract followers. Yeah, because they know this guy, they know these guys. So it's like marketing. So you will see how the things are being. First of all, I remember there is a time where I cannot remember this organization, but the moment I saw this American woman actually trying to support, I think she's the one who gave Bob Wine the idea of becoming a president. She had an organization, it was an NGO at that time, which was giving out electronics, laptops, smart watches, and all that. And after you get it, you'd get you know a handband in on your wrist. You get a wristband. Okay, you wear that thing, but we were, yeah, I didn't really know actually, but I think this was like a code that whoever would see you wearing that would know that you are in that society. And a lot of young people were recruited not knowing what they're coming into. They were recruited because they wanted to have laptops, they wanted to have smartwatches. They were being promised, green cards and everything. So whoever was in that NGO felt like, we are with the whites and everything's going to be all right. But little did they know they were being recruited. And those people who stayed in that organization for quite some time could not really let it go because they had tested the sweetness of money, they had tested the wealth, they had tested the car. There's that life you reach, and you feel like you cannot turn back. And it was a game, a psychological game that they used to play, with the Ugandan children. So they make you go out for workshops, just be doing some bullshit stuff that don't even have meaning. Okay, so you write to pen friends, you get pen pals and all that. So you go out to big places and cinemas. You watch cinemas that have movies that have just come out. You go into big places, have dinner like a whole group. But little did these people know that they were trying to make them get used to this soft life. And the moment they're like, okay, after you get used to that, then they bring you and then they are like, you know what, this is what you're here for. This is what we want you to do. This is why we get the money. And it is few people who would decide to turn back and say, I cannot do this. Somebody from the ghetto will be like, how do I even go back? My friends have seen me, ride this car. They've seen me wear those expensive shoes. I've spent days without, sleeping in that small house. And right now, somebody is trying to tell me if I do not join this society, I'm definitely going back to zero. And I'm going back with nothing. A lot of people just do a die-hard shit and they say, whatever come, I'm not going back. I've tested money. I've tested luxurious life. I've tested the sweetness that money brings. So now I cannot go back. And that's how most people joined this bride with the Negro trinket smash. People are more and more narcissistic. Rainbow gets their attention. So impressionate youth will follow, especially if they haven't further. True that. Jeremy Mosquito is right here. Sorry, I was blocked from Facebook. You usually come from Facebook, but I've been blocked. Rachel Swan. I didn't read it well on my end. How true. True that people are more and more narcissistic. Rainbow gets the attention. First of all, we would ask ourselves, like, is this the most important issue? Is it the most important issue that we should be debating about? Is this the most important issue that Africa, you know, should concentrate on? We have a lot. We have the wars going on, which are even being engineered by these people. We have a lot of things. We have famine, drought, and everything, the diseases affecting Africans. We got a lot that's going on. Why is it that there's so much concentration on the rainbow mafias? Why is it that it's so important for them, for the rainbow people to be accepted? We've seen a lot of rights being defiled. Our right to democracy, actually, they have been the ones engineering this. We've seen, diseases that have been dumped on us. Don't start. And second one. So we have been going through a lot, but that is not important. So Africans should be very careful, more especially if you see when the whistleblower is a Mzungu. More especially if you see whoever says feels your pain is a Mzungu. You should always put a question mark to that. We have our brothers and sisters outside Africa who are going through a lot. Police brutality, murder, and everything. They don't have freedom whatsoever. And then you want to tell me you like Camilla stepping down from, America, coming to Africa to give us change? Why not to start with our brothers who are in America? Why not start with our sisters who are in America, who need their right, who need the freedom, who have to live happily? They don't have to hide because of their skin. They do not have to live in terror. They don't have to live in trauma because they are Black people. And then you step down to Africa to tell me that you're here to give me peace. You're here to help pay the day. You're here to humble you. That's highest level of hypocrisy. That's the highest level of hypocrisy. You're gonna tell me that. But because they're doing this, because they're going to benefit from it, we know what Bill Gates is up to, because they want to. We are going to have a massive genocide. A massive genocide in Africa. The moment we embrace these mafias, the moment we embrace the rainbow mafias, we are going to have a massive massacre. Like before, their mission did not, because as you try to play with Africa, Mother Nature, all the energy tries to protect Africa. From the COVID-19 shit, we saw that. We saw how it went down. The HIV/AIDS, how it was brought about. And of course, we know it was brought by the celebrities who were also indulging in homosexuality. The homosexual thing. HIV/AIDS was created for homosexual, for the poo-poo lovers, for the poop eaters. But in the end, because African people were hiding at that time, they decided to, after carrying out those acts, of course, they will come back and also have their women. So that's how HIV was spread rapidly. And now these people are not satisfied. They are coming back for another phase. So I see us having HIV 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, but which is going to be brought about these rainbow mafias. They are now the celebrity. They're on top of every game, whether you like it or not. They're sponsoring health. They're in hospitals. They're in churches as well. They're also in schools, and it is very tough with the schools. These are the poor people. I cannot afford school fees. Okay, I'm gonna eat your poo poo, and I promise you, you will get the best education ever. If you're a man, you go to the American embassy. Do you eat poo poo? If you don't eat poo poo, you're not gonna get a card. That's why a lot of Africans who are in America, they're homosexuals. They're doing homosexuality because that was the number one ticket to give you a visa to travel to America. And if you are not somebody who loves poo poo, you cannot. So we are going to have a mass genocide. The moment Africa embraces these people, we are going to have a mass genocide. It's so very appalling, actually, that some of the African presidents have been, pushed to the walls. Now they are becoming soft and they want to, everything is about, we are going to temper justice with mercy. We are going to try and make sure that Africans, who are carrying out homosexuality, at least, so the excuse they are giving us does not even make sense. They are coming down now. They are becoming soft. They are not those hardcore men we saw on social media condemning homosexuality. Now they are becoming soft because they have been hit somewhere, somehow. We don't understand this, but their actions are showing us that they have been hit. There is something that is going on in Africa's politics and the African politicians. There is something that is going on. And of course, the mafias run this world. They run this world. So they are trying so, but somehow I believe it may not work. A genocide on morality, then social fabric will be ruined. Yes, the original AIDS virus is patented in US Rainbow General Mosquito. that deep is what gets me. I like how you say sweetness. Oh God. Okay, if I'm second one a General Mosquito in the house, it's gonna be a crazy moment because I know that's what I do. But so you can see a lot, and we all know that before now we saw their plan and what they've been trying to do. First of all, African men have been affected. They have infected them with different chemicals, and to the point I remember I always speak about. Okay, it was crazy when I read about this article, but as it's also funny at the same time, but it's a pity that we as black people we have to go through this. I saw the so-called feminist women moving naked in a street of a certain country that I'm not going to mention, demonstrating that their men are no longer sexually satisfying them in bed and all that. But I came to realize something. There is something that was going on that is affecting the black men in Africa, actually. Because the moment a woman cannot be sexually satisfied by her man, definitely, probably she'll give a second thought of, okay, what is the use of me having him and something like that. And these were these women who fight for women's rights and all that. It's not normal for a traditional woman to move naked in the streets, no matter how painful, um, and no matter the pain she's experiencing, or no matter how painful the situation she's going through is. It is not easy for you to see a traditional African woman moving naked, okay, in the entire world, to see her nakedness, protesting like our men are no longer sexually satisfying us. So we want the government, like, I don't know how the government does. I don't know what the government was supposed to do about that. I'm not sure of why they were even moving naked. And, you know, And General Mosquito says that, Maria, I think Africans have caught on to the whole rainbow agenda, so it's not gonna work. Mosquito, this agenda will not work for the Africans, not at least willingly. But if rainbow mafias impose their rainbow presidents into Africans' government, then Africans will have no say. You've seen this now. You've seen what we are going through. We are complaining of bad leadership. He has won, he has not won, he is the president, there is no democracy. We have fought about this for quite a long time. But we have not seen change. Now, the moment rainbow mafias impose their rainbow president into Africans' government, I can tell you, whether we want it or not, shit is going to take over. And this is the mission they are trying to. Now they know we don't want it. They know the majority of Africans are rejecting the rainbow shit. They know we are rejecting this. Now, how are they going to attack us? Through leadership. Through leadership. We saw how they are trying to bring Bobby Wine down to Uganda. You saw how they tried to manipulate the mind of everybody, that some of the Ugandans are still manipulated, though some of them now have come to realize that this guy was, the mafia's decoy. You have seen how they wanted to impose Bobby Wine and his missions. Because now when you bring such a vice in a country traditional like Uganda, it is a huge progress. It is a huge progress. If the leaders want Saros or Rockefeller, and leave, they will kiss the rainbow. Of course, they will. Because one thing the rainbow mafias are promising the leaders is protection. We know what they are doing. We have seen Julius Malema, who is also being, who is supporting the rainbow mafias. But for him, he's coming on a low key. We have seen these people trying to do this. And now imposing this act on the African people is going to be so very easy, more especially if they enter the government or the political system of Africa. When it comes to politics, we are so down. Our hands are so tied that we cannot defend or fight for ourselves. And the moment, because there are a lot is going on. But since it's coming from the top, it's very hard for, this, for the Africans to fight. So if the rainbow tries to, join the politics, then we are doomed. That's when we shall have a massive genocide. That's when we are going to have a lot of infectious diseases, a lot of sexual transmitted diseases coming into Africa. This is something that they have counted on. This is something that they have planned for quite a long time. except that in the phases it has not been working out. But of course, modernity has brought it back to Africa. Now we are going to experience another phase of probably modernity and its package, which of course usually defiles and sabotages everything that Africans believe in. Okay, we have seen what they have started doing in the chemicals that African mothers consume during antenatal visits to purposely make sure that African mothers produce children who have imbalanced hormones. We have seen what they are doing to the baby formulas. We have seen what they are trying to do to the injections that they are getting when they visit the antenatals. We are seeing this matrix. We are seeing this matrix. They knew now Africa is a tradition, okay? You're rejecting the rainbow, okay? So let me see if you produce a child who has imbalanced hormones and she's going in for some, stuff. Let me see how you're going to support the government to condemn those who are doing it. That means if one person in your family is doing that, there is a way you feel like you feel sorry for people who are doing such a thing. So that's what they are trying to do. Firstly, making sure that African mothers are giving birth to children who have imbalanced hormones. Actually, the rate of people with imbalanced hormones in Africa is increasing. And the age gap is 20. The age gap is 23 downwards. That means this game was started 23 years ago when they started injecting mothers with some hormones that were affecting their children, all in the name of antenatal care, all in the name of giving out formulas, and all those other things that are given to, pregnant mothers during the course of, antenatal care and feeding and all that. To the point that other African men were against baby formulas. They were against these baby formulas because they realized they were really not good. Because some children had begun to behave differently. You see nowadays children like, I don't know, maybe it is a normal thing, but I stay with a lot of elders, so I saw people like, nowadays children are crazy. You see a child is trying to hit their head on a wall like they're not feeling pain. Like, why should a baby hit their head like, to the point that even their forehead will swell? Like, why do you hit your head like that? What is not okay with you? Why are you hitting your head? So these are things that people take slightly, but these are the signs that there is something that is not okay. Something has been, played with. There is something that is going on. And the moment you affect a mother, the moment you touch a mother and her child, you have infected the entire generation. You have infected the entire world. You have infected the entire nation. I think the only way they can implement the rainbow agenda is through the churches. Other than that, it will never be accepted in Africa. Of course, we've seen some churches, but I have that audio, but it is in one of Uganda's local language. We've seen some churches, we've seen some pastors who have been sponsored by the mafias, who have been using young boys for quite some time. And we've also seen some churches coming out. I will speak about Uganda, I've not seen others, coming out to condemn the president. Like, why are you disagreeing, or why are you rejecting homosexuality? These people give us money. If you want to push away homosexuality, then you're going to be investing money in churches. So these mafias have been investing money in churches anyway. But churches have been carrying out this thing, on a low key. They have been doing these things in a hide. They were coming out clean to those other people, little by little. because they are in a hide of Jesus thing. But I guess sometime Rhonda will try to tell us the Bible agrees. We are waiting on that time anyway. So this is what is happening down in Africa. And I still say America was trying to push and push the rainbow mafias onto Africa. We saw Camilla drop down to Ghana, and for whatever purpose she went there to do, yeah, we know she went there to support the mafias and also to make sure that Ghana tries to temper with its, rainbow policies at that time, because they had made some hard laws, of which later they tried to reform. Kit says that Facebook took my, I didn't get a notification over there. Yeah, because of the title and the topic. Yeah, I realized, because I set everything right. I don't know why it took it down. I realized that. But well, that is it. Now, thank you very much, guys, for coming, and thank you very much for supporting Black Hot Fire Network. It's me, Africa Maria. True, that explains why I didn't get a notification over there. Yeah, they took it down. I saw it, but I was like, why? But I guess because of the title, and maybe because of the Rainbow Mafias. But anyway, thank you so much, guys. Thank you very, very much for coming through. Thank you, GB Jabba. Thank you, General Mosquito. Thank you, and second one. Thank you, Derek. Thank you so much. Okay, General Mosquito, I mentioned you already. Who else was here? David Brown, thank you very much for coming through. Thank you very much for those who are watching without commenting. I've not seen Kay Williams, Robert Williams. I've not seen Melanie. I've not seen Kay Washington. I've not seen most of y'all, but I guess you didn't get the notification. Michelle, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you very much, guys, for supporting Black Hot Fire Network and always coming through whenever I'm live. Don't test the rain. Oh, come on. Not even saying that. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for always coming and commenting on my show. Thank you for coming through, David. No, you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome always, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, Deep Jabba Michelle. Thank you very much for that comment. Now I know you've been watching. And second one, thank you so much, Jerome Speedo. Thank you so much, and Kip, thank you very much for coming through, guys. Thank you very much for supporting and loving Black Hot Fire Network. It has been me, Africa Maria, from Kampala, Uganda. I love you so much. Take care of yourself. Black Power. Bye bye. See you tomorrow. By the way, see you tomorrow. Yeah.